It's been a while since we talked about motorcycles. Let's get back to that. What do you think, huh? While there is still a small contingency of followers, the heyday of the Harley cruiser motorcycle is well past its prime. Move over brain buckets, ape hangers, and loud pipes that save lives. Enter full riding suits, pannier systems, and electronic rider aids. Prior to the Livewire, Harley was king of the cruiser, and some would say they still are. But many riders, including myself, have put the jiffy stand down on their cruisers with eyes on riding an adventure bike. It's the biggest and fastest growing market in the world, and Harley is about to enter it with the 2021 Pan America. Will they be successful, or is this another nail in Harley's coffin? It's an important question. With the exception of a few breadcrumbs and a prototype on display at the 2019 Harley dealers meeting, Harley has been pretty quiet on the specs on this bike. Some, including myself, thought that Harley's financial troubles and CEO change would kill the Pan America, but it's coming in 2021, and there's more information out about it. It's a huge departure from Harley's bread and butter, and most notable is the new dual overhead cam liquid-cooled V-twin engine, now affectionately called the Revolution Max. They plan to have two varieties of this engine, a 975 and a 1250cc. The Pan America would reportedly make a ridiculous 145 horsepower and 90 foot-pounds of torque. Wait, what? HD actually mentioned horsepower on a spec sheet for one of their bikes? That's pretty notable. With the specs on this engine, Harley is clearly taking aim at the king of the adventure market, the venerable BMW RGS 1250 Adventure R. The Revolution Max will minimize weight with lighter materials and be integrated in the frame, rather than be mounted prominently like the rest of Harley's lineup. The Pan America will be so far from Harley's norm. One turn signal button, model-specific Brembo brakes, and get this, chain-driven. Will Harley be able to compete in the adventure market? More importantly, will Harley be able to expand their market beyond the cruiser that they've clung to for the last century? One thing is for sure, Harley is staking a lot on their plan to take on the GS Adventure R. The off-road market is flush with options from KTM, Honda's Africa Twin, the V-Strom, and the Super Tenere. And Harley has already tried and failed in the adventure market with the Buell brand. BMW and KTM adventure bike sales have boomed over the last decade, and Harley seems to be caught in this weird sales limbo between aging baby boomers and millennials who much rather leave the steel and chrome alone. Maybe Harley will pull this off and convince a fickle adventure market that they belong. Or perhaps Harley longtime loyalists will take a look at the Pan America and start to consider the joys of riding an adventure bike, if only because it's a Harley. In the end, once the Pan America is introduced in 2021, they'll be burdened with being the new kid on the block, and that's something Harley hasn't had to deal with in their 117-year history. Not at this magnitude anyway, and it's super easy to pick on the new guy, especially if it's as old as Harley. With that said, I'm hoping the torque monster that the Pan America is expected to be will be successful in such a challenging market. New kid or not, more options for me to look at while I'm trying to decide which adventure bike to buy this spring will only be a benefit to me and to you. Thanks for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.